What's going on, everybody? Welcome to In Love with Horror. My name is AJ.
I'm Christy.
And y'all, today on this video, this podcast, if you're listening on Spotify and Apple, if you're on YouTube, we're going to be talking about our most anticipated horror films of 2025. Now, look, normally when we do our lists, we do like a top 10. But there's a crazy amount of horror films coming next year, y'all, in 2025. So we're like, look, we got to bump it up a little bit. So now we're going to be doing 15, y'all. The top 15 most anticipated horror films of 2025 for us. Because I'm sure y'all's list might be a little bit different than ours. But these are the ones we're looking forward to the most. And I think that's what's cool about doing most anticipated lists. Because then when you look at other people's, you're like, or maybe there might be ones that you missed. Or maybe someone just talks about it in a certain way. You're like,
oh, that does sound good.
You're making it sound good. I want to see it. So, this is just us putting, our lists and our thoughts out there for these horror films. And we got a great list too.
I do want to make note that on our Letterboxd, we have a list of all the upcoming 2025 horror films that we know of. So if you want to keep track of what's coming, I'll consistently adding to that list as we learn about films as well. So that'll be linked in the description. So you can follow that list.
Oh yeah. Follow that list. Follow us on Letterboxd. We do try to post our reviews on there. We do like the diary entries as well on there. Great place to follow us to see like our reviews and stuff like that too. Yeah. Why you laugh?
Nothing.
Why you laugh for?
You're cute.
Oh, okay. You're cute too. I appreciate you. All right, y'all. And this is going to be kind of like in a podcast style, even on the video version, just because, we were just kind of want to keep it chill, like a discussion, like we just talking about, the dope ass horror movies that are coming in 2025. So without further ado, unless you want to add something else, baby?
No.
All right. Without further ado, then let's start off with the first film. And we did order these films by release date. We thought that'd be a good way to do it. So then you yourself start to plan out which films you're going to watch throughout the year. Because most of these films are going to be theatrically released, with a couple of them being on streaming services or video on demand or whatnot. But without further ado, we're jumping first into January, y'all. Now there's quite a good number of horror films coming out in January, but this one I think slightly edges out to be the one we're looking forward to the most. There is another film that's kind of like tit for tat. You know what I'm saying?
Tit for tat. Yeah.
But the film we're going to be talking about, y'all, is Presence. Of course, that's Steven Soderbergh's upcoming horror film. It comes out in the theaters on January 24th. They've already released a couple of teasers and a main official trailer. And I think the film looks like pretty good. Of course, this film... I hate to call it a gimmick, but the thing with this movie is it's from the ghost perspective, the ghost POV. So that in and of itself is like, that's an interesting type of concept. And this film has already been screened a few times at different festivals and whatnot in 2024. So so far, I feel like the reviews have been pretty good. I think it's sitting around like a 80-something%. Like I think it might have been 89. I don't have it pulled up in front of me right now, but I think it's around 89% on Rotten Tomatoes. For the most part, overwhelmingly positive. But the official synopsis for this over on IMDb reads: a family becomes convinced they are not alone after moving into their new home in the suburbs. And if you've seen that trailer, it's got this kind of like weird, eerie tone that someone's just watching this family go through the trials and tribulations of life. I don't know. It looks interesting. It's got, Lucy Liu in there. And it was written by David Coop and again directed by Steven Soderbergh. Baby, what's your thoughts on Presence?
Well, yeah, I've actually been intrigued by this idea since it screened at Sundance last year or earlier this year or whatever. But yeah, so... I'm intrigued mostly by the POV. I think it's super intriguing as a concept, and I kind of want to see how that works out, how it all plays out. And then, Steven Soderbergh as a director, he's usually good at his job. So,
definitely one of those iconic directors. I think when you slap his name on something, most of the time people show up and be like, okay, let me see. Kind of what is he experimenting with in this movie? And I feel like that was a lot of the rhetoric coming out of the different festivals and stuff was like the experiment works for this. It's a different type of experience, very unique style. something essentially never seen before. I think I did see a couple because I try to read like negative reviews even for overwhelmingly positive films. I did see a couple people say like the premise is very simple, but obviously the execution, the technique is Steven Soderbergh is very well done.
Well, I don't see having a simple premise as being a negative thing, especially if it's executed well. And then going back to the fact that this was screened at Sundance, when it did screen at Sundance, it didn't have a distributor, but Neon ultimately chose to pick it up at Sundance. So I feel like Neon has a pretty decent slate, especially as we've seen this year alone. So, that to me is also kind of like a confidence booster that this might be a good film.
Like Neon was like, oh yeah, we got to pick this one up. And yeah, Neon's even got, obviously, like you said, they had a good 2024 and they got a lot of stuff lined up for 2025 as well. But yeah, we're definitely excited for this one, y'all. This is kicking off like our most anticipated list. It's a January film again, coming out on January 24th in theaters, y'all. Check out Presence. Now, jumping to our next film, the second film on our list is releasing February 14th, but this is a film coming out on Apple TV subscription streaming service, and that is The Gorge. This is another film that already has a trailer out. Of course, one of the big reasons I'm excited for is because it's being directed by Scott Derrickson. I love Scott Derrickson.
He does.
Scott Derrickson. It was written by Zach Dean. Of course, it's starring Anya Taylor-Joy, Miles Teller, and Sigourney Weaver. And again, I said this one already has a trailer out. So if you've seen the trailer, you kind of have an idea of the premise for this. And the trailer they put out was long. It was if you don't count the, how they do those like teasers in front of the trailer.
Yeah.
If you don't count that, it was almost a 3-minute trailer. So they tell you, practically what the whole film is going to be like.
But we don't see what's in the Gorge.
That's true. We don't.
Right.
So let me read y'all the synopsis for The Gorge if you're not familiar. The synopsis on IMDb reads, 2 highly trained operatives become close after being sent to protect opposite sides of a mysterious gorge. When an evil emerges, they must work together to survive what lies within. And if you've seen the trailer, you see Miles Teller that he gets dropped on one side of the gorge in this like sniper tower, and Anya Taylor-Joy's on the other side of this. It's a massive gorge, and her sniper tower, and they're not supposed to communicate. But obviously, they end up putting up signs and communicating by writing on signs and boards, and they develop a relationship that way. To the point where it seems like something goes wrong, and
it's a distraction.
And they end up in the gorge, and that's gonna be the big pull for this movie.
For sure,
is
that's what
what's the mystery?
What's in the gorge?
Yeah, what's in this gorge? And I do think that they have like a red herring in this trailer, because in this trailer you see a shot where like a monster claw comes on the railing. I think of Anya Taylor-Joy's sniper tower.
Correct.
And I do think I'm like, that might be a red herring. Like, is it a creature down there, or is there something else going on down there?
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Like what?
That's what I'm saying. I don't know.
No, I'm saying like, what are your ideas on it?
That's what I'm saying. I don't even know what the theory could be.
Oh, I didn't even take it as like a red herring. I just assumed there was some kind of creatures down there.
Like it's a legit creature. I mean, it is in the poster. There is a creature claw hand in the poster.
Guess we'll find out. But I'm intrigued for this one for a couple reasons. Obviously, I think Anya Taylor-Joy is a great actress.
Oh yeah.
So I think she'll deliver. And then also like the intriguingness of the story and the concept. Having these 2 people on opposite sides of this gorge, and it's I kind of like the idea of like people in like spy movies. I don't know why.
Oh right, yeah.
Deep undercover. Like we saw this recent trailer for like another movie that was similar to Mr. and Mrs. Smith with
you talking about Black Bag
with
and I was Michael Fassbender and Kate Blanchett.
I like stuff like that. I'm super intrigued by it. But yeah, so I'm looking forward to that. It comes out on Valentine's Day, right?
That's interesting.
Yeah. So I'm wondering, like you were saying, like, is that a red herring? Like, is this more of like a love story or what? Like a horror romance?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Or it could be very straightforward. It is creatures down there, and their whole point is to keep them from coming out of this gorge.
Yeah. Well, I'm excited to check it out.
Yeah, I think it's a dope premise. I think this one will be very exciting. And it's crazy because Scott Derrickson got a lot of stuff coming out.
He does
next year. And
he's been working.
We're gonna wrap back around later on in this list and talk about Scott Derrickson some more. But again, y'all, that's The Gorge coming on Apple TV streaming services on February 14th. Excited for that one. So the next film we want to talk about is, of course, Sinners.
Whoop, whoop.
Coming on March 7th. Of course, this is the latest film from Ryan Coogler, teaming up again with Michael B. Jordan. The trailer, there's been a trailer for this one out already as well.
Which we have a reaction to.
Yeah, we do. We got a
and
reaction
one liked
to this
our reaction to this one.
Yeah, like, man, they was coming for us like crazy in our YouTube comments, which is cool because, like, you know, we always say with our channel and our content and everything, we always keep it real. Like, we never like fake reactions. We don't fake how we feel about something. Like, we give it to y'all straight, exactly how we feel about something. And so when we saw the Sinners trailer, we were like, it was okay, but we need something. Like, we needed something more. Like, there wasn't enough to really like give us like a good scope of what we're dealing with this film.
But even though we didn't like the trailer, we're both very excited, obviously, because it's on this list to check it out when it hits theaters.
It's Ryan Coogler.
Ryan Coogler and Michael B. Jordan.
Yeah, that's an automatic, like, you're gonna go to the movies. Automatic. Like,
yeah.
They could have never even dropped a trailer for this at all. And then it's be like, Ryan Coogler, okay, we're gonna go see what he got.
Well, let's take it back, because when we first even looked at the news for this, that they were coupling up for a vampire film, we were like, hell yeah.
Oh, hell yeah.
In. Like,
yeah, people thought, people were taking it like we was writing the film off. It's
yeah,
like, nah, we still hyped for it, but
we're still gonna watch this movie.
We just wanted a different kind of trailer.
That's
you know
it.
What I'm saying? But either way, like, you know, tonally, the way the film looks and the era it's dealing with, of course, we don't really see any vampires in the trailer, but we know it's dealing with vampires.
Well, yeah.
In some sort of capacity, at least. I think it still looks interesting. And let me read y'all the actual synopsis on IMDb, and it reads, trying to leave their troubled lives behind, twin brothers, played by Michael B. Jordan, return to their hometown to start again, only to discover that an even greater evil is waiting to welcome them back. Like I said, the shots and all that good stuff like looks super dope.
Yeah.
In this film, I don't doubt that this film will be great
Not at all.
in some capacities. Because even if I go back to, like, you know, Wakanda Forever, like, you know, I wasn't as big on that film, but I still thought it was a good movie. So I mean, either way, I think this will be a good movie.
I didn't know you were big on Wakanda Forever.
Yeah, I wasn't huge on it.
I do know that.
Yeah, I wasn't huge on it. I think it's, you know, rest in peace, you know, Chadwick Boseman.
Let's not go down that road.
But I think that, you know, I think that was obviously had a big impact on that movie. But yeah, like you said, I think this movie has a lot of potential to be something very special.
I think so.
With the era that it was in, you know, was it 20s?
I'm always gonna be down for black folks and vampires.
Oh yeah, 100%. What is it, like 1920s?
It looks like 20s.
Like
it looks like 20s. Like, it gives me the 20s vibes with like the outfits that they had on. The hairstyle that we Jordan was with. Yeah, it feels like 20s.
And speaking of him from the trailer, like, how'd you feel about like his accent and all this kind of stuff?
It wasn't my favorite thing, but I think maybe once we watch the movie and we hear it,
see everything together.
I think it might be okay.
Yeah. Either way, y'all, we are crazy excited for this, man.
Absolutely.
Ryan Coogler and Michael B. Jordan, they always kill it. I think this is going to be a very dope film, and this was one that's coming to IMAX too, so that's very exciting.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Perfect.
I'm looking forward to seeing that in the IMAX. But y'all let us know how excited you are for that film as well. Again, that's coming out March 7th. It's coming to theaters. Sinners, Ryan Coogler, and Michael B. Jordan. All right, jumping to the next film. This is also another March release, and this film is called Opus. Now, there isn't like any trailers or posters or anything like that. The only thing that we do have is like a first look image. And let me go ahead and give you all kind of the rundown about what this film is about. And they don't have it on IMDb, so actually you have to go to this Bloody Disgusting article to actually get it pulled up. Okay, here we go. So this is the plot for Opus. A young writer is invited to the remote compound of a legendary pop star who mysteriously disappeared 30 years ago. Surrounded by the star's cult of sycophants and intoxicated journalists, she finds herself in the middle of his twisted plan. And now I know you were super excited for this because that writer that was the young writer that's invited to this compound is played by, is it Ayo Edebiri?
Ayo Edebiri.
Ayo Edebiri.
I can't say it now because you want me to say it. I just call her Ayo. I Edebiri. I think it's Edebiri.
It's Edebiri?
Yes.
Ayo Edebiri? Sorry,
she's from the Bear.
I always tear names up.
I just call her Ayo.
Yeah.
But yes, I think it's Edebiri.
Yeah. So Ayo from the Bear is playing, she's taking the lead and being the young writer in this film. And the legendary pop star who suddenly pops back up 30 years later is being played by John Malkovich. So I think it's going to be like a dope ass pairing in terms of like the two leads in this film.
Well, yes, absolutely.
Oh yeah, 100%. And then now a couple things with this, right? So like I said, we don't have any teasers, no trailers, nothing like that. We only got this first look image that just shows Ao looks like she's sitting at like a dinner table or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
She just, I don't even know
she
what
looks
kind
like
of
she
look.
has a pen in her hand or something.
Like maybe she's just like analyzing the room, like she's reading the room right now, and that's literally the only shot that we got.
She looks so good.
Yeah, she looks great.
I'm so excited.
Yeah, and I actually really like the color grading. And like
I love the color palette.
look of the film as well. Now, so a couple things with this though. So it is premiering next month at Sundance.
Yeah.
So that's when next month. When I say next month, I'm talking about January. So in January at Sundance, it will have its first premiere. So we'll hear our first kind of feedback and rumblings about this film, about how good it is. But a couple of things that they've already described. Sundance already described the film as a flashy pop horror. Now, here's something else that's interesting because I feel like we've been seeing this a lot. We've been seeing a lot of like horror movies incorporate like heavy musical numbers in their films. And so this article on Bloody Disgusting about Opus, there's a section in here. I've got to find where it says
the musical numbers part.
Yeah. Okay. Right here. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I'm trying to figure out like where this is pulled from exactly. I guess it was also pulled from whatever interview or whatever that when Sundance was talking about the film. And it says, what's even more intriguing is that Sundance also describes the film as having musical numbers, which tracks for a horror movie about a pop star. It's also a tense psychosocial game of cat and mouse. Mm-hmm. So the musical numbers thing, I'm like, I don't know. I feel like we've been getting these like, concert movies, these big like, almost music video scenes.
Yeah, a lot of films have had that.
Yeah, and I'm like
Substance, Trap.
And I feel like also
Smile too,
because this is another pop star situation. So I feel like I almost feel like they're like we got a pop star, so we got to have some sort of musical section.
Yeah,
I'm not saying that it won't work in this film. I'm just that made me a little like hesitant, and I'm not saying the film can't be good now. I think they can pull it off as long as it's well written. But I just thought that was interesting.
Yeah,
that they're going that route. But I'm excited. I'm excited to see what comes out of the Sundance Film Festival in January. Hopefully, it's going to be good reviews. Hopefully, people are going to be hyped about this. But it does come out March 15th, so that's the second big one for us. It's going to be in March. That's back to back with Sinners. So
yes,
we're going to be at the movies a lot.
Yeah.
But all right, y'all, jumping to the next film, which is it's just funny because
that's awesome.
That's we're gonna be in the music a lot. We're gonna be at the theater a lot.
Yeah.
We got another March film. This is coming out March 28th, and that's The Woman in the Yard. Now this is another one. There's not even there's no posters. There's no images. There's like one or two set photos, but they're not even like good set photos.
Yeah.
So there's not a whole lot to go off on this film, y'all. And it's called The Woman in the Yard again. And let me read y'all, because I noticed that there's no like real official synopsis out there for this film.
There is not.
But I did find a couple locations that has some kind of like very simple premises. So I'm gonna read y'all the two premises that I've read. The first one's gonna come from Wikipedia, and it says, a woman in black appears on a family's front lawn and delivers a chilling warning. No one knows where she came from, what she wants, or when she will leave. And the second premise I'm going to read y'all comes from Letterboxd. And it says, a mysterious woman who repeatedly appears in a family's front yard, often delivering chilling warnings or unsettling messages, leaves the residents to question her identity, motives, and the potential dangers she might pose. So I think the premise sounds interesting. But what makes this even more dope, y'all, is that it's got a black cast.
It does.
So starring in this film, we got
Danielle Deadweiler, who was my first person to be like, oh, I'm definitely watching this movie.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
And then we got for people who don't know her by name, you want to talk about the stuff she was recently in?
I got a list. She was at the piano lesson.
Yep.
She's in that new movie on Netflix, Carry On. What else was she in? We were watching the other day. I was like, oh, that's Danielle. It was a trailer for the one that has The dude from the Indiana Jones that grew up. Now he's making movies. It's got Marshawn Lynch in it. Remember?
Oh, yeah. I forgot what that's called though.
I don't know, but she was in. Oh yeah, Parallel. She was the mom, and I saw the TV Glow. Like sis been working this year. Okay, let's tell you that. Yep. The Holiday Fall. That was another one she was in on Netflix. But yeah, she's a great actress. So anything she's in, I'm watching it.
Yep. And then we got Russell Hornsby in there as well. Whenever I see his face, I automatically think of the TV show Grimm.
Oh, okay.
I just watched that a lot.
Yeah.
But I'm sure he's been in
a lot of
plenty of other things.
Yeah.
Then we got, I'm going to tear this name up, but we got Akwi Akpakwasli.
That sounds great.
I'm probably tearing that up, but she was actually in, I'm pretty sure it was Agatha All Along, but also Exorcist the Believer. She was
the, what would you call her? The priestess or?
Like the priestess, doctor. Her official title was Doctor, I would say Behibe. But yeah, she was that doctor in Exorcist Believer. I thought she was one of the best parts of that film, in my opinion.
Of the movie. Yeah.
Wish we had got way more of her. But yeah, we got it's a black family that's being approached by this woman. It's being directed by I'm gonna say Wame Koye Sarah. I'm not familiar with. Oh, actually, no. I'm thinking of somebody else. I am familiar with this dude's work. I was thinking of. There's a couple people on this list that I'm not familiar with anything they've done. But,
so I was like, wait a minute. Didn't we talk about this?
Yeah. So Wame Koye Sarah has worked on. Let me get the actual director ones. He's been a producer on a number of things. People might know him most
from Orphan. He did Orphan.
He did Orphan. He also directed what you just mentioned, that Carry On Netflix film. We haven't watched that yet. Directed Black Adam, Jungle Cruise.
A lot of movies.
Yeah, the Shallows. That's one we actually liked.
A good one.
The Shadows is actually a good one. Some other action movies like Nonstop. Seems to like that style of with Liam Neeson, Unknown and stuff like that.
Our friend Mike mentions the series called The River. He directed a couple episodes of that show.
Yep, 2 episodes of that show. And then, of course, House of Wax. That's a remake that people really like there. But yeah, so he's worked on quite a number of things.
So I think that means this movie should be good.
Yeah, I feel like the combination there, first of all, black cast automatically. Like that's dope. Seeing a full black family, that's dope in and of itself already. Yeah. And then to have somebody who I feel like for the most part has decent enough credits directorial wise, that'll be good. The writer is Sam Stefanak, and not too familiar with their work. They did work on F is for Family, that Netflix comedy series. They wrote a lot of episodes on there. Game On, a comedy crossover, a lot of TV stuff. An expanding universe of Ashley Garcia. So not too familiar with the writing credits there, but you never know. Like we got a writing crew on this list that is even fresher than that. You know what I'm saying? In terms of
we do.
You never know what could happen. They could come out and really bring forth a really dope script.
Yeah.
So there's hope, I think, with all those elements combined. This movie sounds interesting. Again, there's no teaser or nothing. I wish there was like a trailer or even a poster to kind of give you like
some kind of like idea with the tone and the look
or like a first look image or something. But there's nothing. But y'all, it sounds really intriguing. We're excited for this one. So we're gonna see what it do on March 28th. Again, it's a theatrically released film, and again, it's called The Woman in the Yard. All right, moving on to April, y'all. So we got 2 films in April that'll be coming out, and it's on the same day.
Unfortunately,
I know it's gonna have to be a double feature.
Yeah.
So the first film though we're gonna be talking about is called The Ritual. Now it comes out on April 25th. So both these films we're gonna be talking about April 25th. Now The Ritual is another one that does not have any trailers or teasers or even first look images, but it does have a poster.
It does.
So that was very recently that they put out,
like a couple days ago.
It was like it was super recent. But let me read y'all the premise to this film. And it reads on IMDb: 2 priests, one questioning his faith and one reckoning with the troubled past, must put aside their differences to save a possessed young woman through a difficult and dangerous series of exorcisms. It's being directed by David Middle, and the writers are David Middle and Enrico Natale. Now, the big thing here, though, is it stars
Dan Stevens
and Al Pacino playing the 2 priests. And they put out this poster, which is the only thing to go off of, but it's like a very like gritty ass, like kind of almost like hardcore-ish horror poster where it's got a woman like kind of tied up to a bed, and the bottom half of the poster and the top half is an arm reaching down with a cross on her head. She's kind of like screaming, obviously being affected by the cross. But this seems like, it's right up our alley. Supernatural, demonic, religious horror. Like, we love that type of stuff. And I'm all for exorcism films. I'm all about it. But to see Al Pacino playing a exorcist priest is going to be super dope, as well as Dan Stevens. And I think the woman's being played by Ashley Greene. I don't know if I'm too. Oh no, she's playing Sister Rose. I wonder who's playing the woman that's being affected. Because I feel like it's difficult to play like a possessed person. Yeah. I feel like it takes a lot to get it right, to where you're like, dang, like this person's playing it super good.
Right. Yeah.
But yeah, it says Ashley Greene's playing Sister Rose. I don't know if this woman is the affected woman, Emma Schmidt, being played by Abigail Cohen. Not sure. But all those elements combined, it sounds super dope. It's also coming out on Easter weekend,
which is so crazy.
Which, I mean, that's like makes it like a weird, kind of like creepy, eerie watch to watch this on Easter weekend. But we're gonna be in the theater, watching this one. Is there anything else you want to add to this that makes you like, super hyped about it?
Well, all the things you already said. So,
nothing else you want to add?
Yeah, I mean, you took every thought I would have had said right out of my head. So,
okay, all right. But yeah, y'all, that's coming out on April 25th. So we'll jump to the next film, Until Dawn. Now you want me to read on this one? Cause I want to be taking all your thoughts, so you ain't got nothing else to add to it.
Well, Until Dawn was not mine, so that one's yours. So you're gonna have to take that one too. So.
Oh, okay, all right. Well, Until Dawn, maybe on the next few did I might. I'll let you take the next one. So I don't want to be on the mic talking the whole time.
It's all good. Hey, I'm just here.
Nah. All right. So for Until Dawn, that's coming out again on April 25th as well. But I'm super hyped for this one, y'all.
Yeah.
Because it's being directed by David F. Sandberg. So this is gonna be his first return to horror after working on the Shazam movies, and he's made super dope horror films and shorts. Of course, that's where you got to start making horror shorts on YouTube, and that's such a dope ass story because that just inspires you, right? But his feature films for horror were Lights Out and of course Annabelle Creation. That's up there to me as good as like mainline Conjuring films in terms of spinoff numbers. Why are you shaking your head? Like you don't agree?
I mean, nothing beats the Conjuring.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. But I feel like it is on. It is on that level, though.
I don't know about it. It might be a couple steps down.
Okay, all right. To each their own. But of course, there's no like trailers or teasers or anything like that. But this is based off the PlayStation game, so people already have an idea of at least the vibe of this. I don't know how much they're going to change the script from
I thought they were
the game.
It.
Oh, you're right, because they announced that they weren't going to be like the Wendigos in this game. I know people were kind of upset about that. I've never played the game. So we don't have any attachment to the property in that aspect. But you're right, people were upset about that. So if you are a big fan of the game, you're listening. Like, unfortunately, they are not going that route. But I still think it has the potential to be good, though.
Well, it is written by Gary Dauberman, so that one you gotta take it with a grain of salt, I guess, in a way. Like, you never know; it could go either way.
And for people who don't know, what has Gary Dauberman worked on?
A lot of stuff. I can't even think of everything, but he's done a lot of those Annabelle ones that you like.
Well,
The Nun,
only like one, and
more recently. He directed Salem's Lot and wrote the script for that one, and that one wasn't that great.
Yeah, I didn't even get a chance to watch that one, but I know you said it wasn't good.
But like I said, it's either or. Sometimes he does good, sometimes he does terrible. It's like there's no in between.
Yeah, he worked on all the Annabelle stuff, like you said, and I feel like Annabelle Creation was actually really good. I mean, that might have been because of David's directing, maybe. But he did the screenplay for it. And it Chapter 2 was really good. And he also seems like he worked on the Swamp Thing TV series. I know people kind of like that show. I know a lot of people didn't watch it, but I feel like people did like that Swamp Thing show. But I mean, fingers crossed. I feel like David F. Sandberg has done really well with the horror film. So hoping that this will be, another big one for him. I'm just happy to see him return to horror, and hopefully he stays with horror. It's cool he got his chance to go out and do the big Hollywood films.
I think he's going where the checks at. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but but this is like his bread and butter.
Well, sure, that's probably why he's coming back.
They did have one like set photo, which is him with the film clacker on the set for Until Dawn. It looks like him and his wife were in like the mirror with the clacker. So
cute.
Oh yeah, super dope. A lot of seeing the fact he always puts her in the films and stuff is super dope.
Mm-hmm.
But again, that's coming out the same day as The Ritual, y'all. So we have to do a double feature with that one on April 25th in theaters. Now the next one we got is Final Destination Bloodlines coming out on May 16th. Did you want to talk about this one?
Oh no, go ahead. I'm just here. I'm here to back up what you saying.
Oh, come on.
I'm like
now.
what am I? I'm your sidekick.
You like? Well, you my co-host, so I got to give you time.
Okay, right. So you go ahead and I co in.
So you just want
I co-sign.
Well, which film you want to do on here? Then?
I don't want to do any of them. I just
want me to run it.
Yeah, I'm just here to add in my thoughts when necessary.
Okay, all right, yo. Well, it looks like I'm still running it, yo. All right. So, the thing with Final Destination Bloodlines, right? This is another one where we don't got no poster, we don't got no trailer, something like that. But I think it's super dope that it's the beginning of the summer release. So it's kicking off I feel like Final Destination has always been like a fun horror movie. So I think it's cool to kick off the summer with a fun horror movie. There's been like some brief like interview comments or rumors or whatever talking about what this film could be about.
Mm-hmm.
And it seems like it's going to explore like maybe, jumping into Tony Todd's character Bloodworth's origins or history and his connection to things. He's always around, you know what I'm saying, in these films, but we never got no full like who or what is he. Rest in peace, Tony Todd, of course, absolute legend. But he will be in this film, and his character is going to be explored in some way. I don't know if they're going to explore like origins of like death stuff or expand the lore in that kind of way. I don't really know where they're going to go with it. But either way, it's exciting to see Tony Todd return, and it's exciting just to get a new Final Destination movie in general.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I love the franchise. Final Destination is like up there in terms of franchises for me. Y'all got your Halloweens. I got Final Destination. Like, I feel like those are the type of movies that get people into horror. It's one of the franchises that got me into loving horror. And then we revisit them, and we can revisit them and be like, oh man, this was so good. Or I remember this scene, or I remember this kill. Like, it's a very unique franchise in that way. And then like, still today, right? People post all the time, like how the distance that they are in their car behind a log truck because of this.
That log truck franchise has forever ruined people.
Forever, like that.
Forever.
That's iconic in itself. And then also like to see almost like a final chapter of the contributions of Tony Todd to the franchise is also going to be pretty cool to check out too. So
yeah, I agree 100%. I'm excited for this one. I'm excited to see what the opening kill sequence is going to be like for the premonition part. That shit is always fun. Then hopefully they get super creative and wacky with the kills. But we'll see y'all with Final Destination Bloodlines coming out May 16th. Hopefully we get a teaser trailer or some sort of trailer pretty soon for that one. All right, so the next film we're going to talk about is 28 Years Later. It's coming out on June 20th. Now, of course, we got a trailer for this because this just came out recently. And that trailer was fire. Now we do got a reaction for this trailer. So if you head over if you're already on YouTube, you can go to our channel and search for that reaction. We really love this trailer. It was super dope. But of course, just as the name implies, we're picking up, 28 years later after the rage virus went ham and created these, super hyper crazy ass zombies. And the film just looks really good. Let me pull up like who's
really
directing
good.
And all that stuff.
Actors involved as well that we like. Also, I recently watched 28 Days Later.
Yeah, you did. Yep.
And because at first I was like, I don't remember this movie after watching the trailer, and I was like, I'm not really all that invested in it. Yeah. But after rewatching the movie, because when I watched it, I was probably, I don't know how old. It was a long time ago. But yeah, I'm glad I watched it because now I'm like, okay, yeah, I want to see where they decide to take this franchise. I need to watch the next one too. But Yeah, it was really good. Like I'm definitely gung ho and ready to see the new one when it comes out. I will had another note to make, but now I can't remember what it was.
Well,
I know. Up until I guess a couple days from now, there was nowhere where for you to watch it streaming, but it is about to be released soon. I think.
Oh, good. Okay.
For people to be able to watch it.
Oh, dope. Okay.
Yeah.
So going back to what you said, though, 28 days later, it is this 28 years later is being directed by Danny Boyle, who directed the original 28 Days Later. So that's super exciting to bring back the OG.
Yeah.
One of the creators of the original, being written by Danny Boyle as well as Alex Garland. Super dope. Of course, it stars Aaron Taylor Johnson. We saw him a lot in the trailer. You see Cillian Murphy is in the film in some capacity. I know a lot of people, myself included. I think you did too.
We did too.
We thought like that zombie that was like rising up. Bless you, man.
Thank you.
We thought that zombie that was rising up was him, but it was debunked. It was another performer. But also has Ralph. Is it Phineas?
I don't know. I've never heard anyone say his name.
Yeah.
Is either Phineas or Fiennes. I don't know.
Yeah, so Ralph Fiennes, of course, recently was a lead in Conclave.
Oh, God. I knew you were going to say that.
Well, I got to bring it up.
He loves this movie.
Because he was incredible in that film. So, like, once you told me he was in this, that even got me more excited. I was like, oh, that's super dope. But yeah, this trailer. I
just want to point out that you only mentioned the male actors in this film and not the females.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was only mentioning the people that were like big that I knew. You want to mention the female? Because I don't know them. Maybe you do.
I don't know them either.
Oh, okay.
But it's just funny because you went down and across. You didn't go over.
So yeah, so I'm reading the cast. I'm reading the cast from IMDb, y'all. So my eye was just drawn to people that I knew instantly. But another lead in this is Jodie Comer.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know her off the top. I can go look at the IMDb real quick. Looks like she was in The Last Duel, Free Guy. She was in Star Wars as well. She played Rey's mother. But yeah, off the top, I don't recognize her from these films.
Okay, that's fine.
But yeah, maybe you do. Maybe you watched The Last Duel. For some of the people listening.
Oh, okay.
And her name was Jodie Comer, so she's also, I'm assuming, a lead in this as well. I feel like Aaron Taylor Johnson took up most of like. I want to call the lead time in the trailer, and everyone else like quick flashes in there. But either way, y'all, we're super excited for this film, especially like you said after you just rewatched 28 Days Later, seeing the trailer, kind of knowing. One thing I did want to mention was this film was shot on an iPhone.
Oh yes,
and there was like kind of like the big meme thing with this film was like if you look at one of the set photos, you see the iPhone. But it's got like all these like super high end like film attachments to it, lenses and filters and all that stuff.
It's almost not fair.
It was super funny because it's like it's shot on an iPhone, but you got like a million things like going on with it.
Initially when you think I've shot this on an iPhone, you're thinking, oh, like
you kept it real simple,
right? Yeah. Exactly, but obviously not.
But it's like when. I get it because you're trying to match the iPhone to what people expect with film. But I don't know. It's like when you do the iPhone thing, you want it to be like manageable in the sense of like someone ordinary could come in and do something. Maybe not exactly to the T, but it was just funny, like seeing that iPhone decked out like that, souped up all the way. But it was shot on it, y'all. So we'll the trailer makes it look good. But either way, we'll see on June 20th for 28 years later, y'all. All right, jump into our next film, which comes out on July 18th. This is a sequel entry to the I Know What You Did Last Summer franchise. Now, this is another film where there's no images, no information, like nothing about this film is out. But recently, it was announced that Jennifer Love Hewitt is returning to play her character. She's returning alongside Freddie Prinze Jr. As well. And then they have a bunch of other original cast members that include, I know Tyreek Withers is in there. We got Madeline Klein, Nicholas Chavez, Lola Tung, Billy Campbell.
Really great cast.
Yeah, it's got a lot of people in there. I think matching the OG cast members with this new cast is gonna be super dope. But you want to talk about this film a little bit? I know you're a lot more into this franchise than I am. So,
well, I'm just
how excited are you about it?
Very excited for this. I wonder, because Jennifer Love Hewitt and Freddie Prinze Jr. are returning, I'm wondering if because the the synopsis is a group of friends is terrorized by a stalker who knows about a gruesome incident from their past.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering if like they're gonna be like these, suburban adults and
they got
kids and stuff like that, and I don't know. I just really want to see that. Okay. I wish there were more veteran characters returning.
Yeah.
I know that Carla, played by Brandy, is on the table, so I hope they bring her back too. Just because I feel like through the franchise, like having those core people, you know what I'm saying, makes it a little bit more, nostalgic, I guess. I don't know, but I would like to see more faces return from the older movies. I know we can't bring back Sarah Jessica Parker because she's dead, but at least having like maybe adding in Brandy and maybe one other person might be really cool to see, especially since it's supposed to be a group of friends. So at least bringing back the people that were there at the end of the last. Well, it's only them two were left, right? Actually,
I think it
was just them three.
I don't remember that
survived.
second movie very good.
I think it was just those three that survived. I gotta rewatch it because I'm like, wait a minute. I think maybe it was just them three that made it.
I can't remember. It's been way too long for me.
Okay, well, hopefully they bring back Brandy, so at least it'd be three.
Now, it's being directed by Jennifer Caton Robinson.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not familiar with this director, but she's worked on. Let me get her directorial credits. Because she's done a lot of writing. Says she wrote for Thor: Love and Thunder. That might not be a good thing for some people. But she's directed Do Revenge, directed an episode of a TV show called Love Life, and directed a film titled Someone Great in 2019. I'm not familiar with any of those projects, but maybe you out there listening are. But she will be directing the film, and the writers are Lois Duncan, Jeff Howard, and Sam Lansky. I don't know if you're familiar with any of those names either. But it looks like
she wrote.
Oh, she
might be. I don't know. Is she the writer for this one, or are they just giving writing credits for that?
Because it's from the same property.
Well, it says writer, but I don't know.
It might be from the same property, and so they're trying to give the writing credits. I don't. So it's hard to say who actually legitimately pinned the script. But it seems like it's got some good people attached. Like Jeff Howard looks like he helped write on Oculus and some of Mike Flanagan's projects, as well as Gerald's Game. Midnight Mass. Come on now.
That's a good one.
I mean, I don't know. Like it's got some good people attached to it. So we will see. But I know you're super excited for that one. I'm looking forward to it just from the sense of like.
And I'm glad it comes out in July. Like the first the films are set around like the 4th of July. So
right. Yeah.
I wish it come out a little bit earlier, but it's all good.
Right. Yeah. They probably had to work with the dates that they could work with.
Yeah, I know.
There might have been, I don't know what's coming out that weekend, but maybe there's like, some big stuff coming. Like, we can't drop the movie around that time.
Right.
But it's always cool to see like these type of franchises kind of come back and, be updated or added to for existing fans as well as a new generation. So that's super dope.
And like you said, for the new generation, a lot of those characters, are part of that new generation of actors that we're seeing like come up.
Right. Yep.
So that's really cool.
100%. But again, y'all, July 18th, this untitled sequel to I Know What You Did Last Summer. Now, I did want to mention, because we talked about this in our news that we did recently as well. We're talking about like titles for this film. They can get real clever with the titles.
I think we said, I'll never forget what you did that
That's
summer.
super dope.
Yeah.
But based off the synopsis, I don't know if that would really work.
Think it. Yeah, it might. I don't know.
Yeah, depending on like if they're looking at the past from like, are they talking about the past like from this new core group of people or the actual OG cast past? Then it'll be like I never forget. But
yeah,
I'm sure they can come up with something real genius and clever.
I'm sure.
Y'all let us know in the comments what y'all titles have, what title ideas you have for this sequel film. Now we'll be jumping to September for our next big hyped up film. We got 2 films in September to talk about, but the first one we got to talk about is a franchise that's like near and dear to us. We love this franchise. And this film kind of makes it a little sad.
It does.
Because this is the final mainline entry. And of course, we're talking about The Conjuring, y'all.
Yes.
This is The Conjuring Last Rites coming out on September 5th. And just like I said, this is the final film in the mainline The Conjuring movies, where it has The Conjuring in the title. This will be the last one. So it's the last time we'll see Patrick Wilson and Vera Farmiga play the Warrens.
Yeah, I actually saw a post on Instagram where Patrick Wilson posted like it was his last day on set.
Yeah.
Like his little trailer and stuff like that. And it was super sad. And Vera had even made like this post. It was almost like the man had like she's never gonna see him again almost.
Right, yeah.
But you know, it was still like a I'm sure how surreal that could be and bittersweet to like to finally be done with that chapter of their lives, but at the same time, like they've been doing this shit for a long ass time.
It's like, I was about to go check because I feel like it's the first one came out in 2013, right? The first Conjuring?
Yeah.
Yeah, 2013. So over a decade.
Over a decade, they've been playing these 2 characters. And so I can imagine like, okay, yeah, we're glad to be done with this, but at the same time, it's like, we've been doing this shit for over 10 years.
Over 10 years. And they gave us some incredible films. Now, obviously, the third film in that, The Devil Made Me Do It, was definitely the weakest of the mainline entries, but it was still a good film.
It was still good, and I've always really liked that chemistry between those 2 characters. So I'm sad too to see it end, but at the same time, I get it. You know, it's like, okay, we got to move on. We can't keep
at some point,
busting out Conjuring films.
You want to go out on a high note.
Yeah.
You don't want to keep dragging it out where it's like, oh man, like
here we
another
go.
one. Yeah, here we go again. Like,
I think I saw a meme either this year or last year where they had like this cow that was like completely like
getting dried up. Yeah.
That's like, this is like what The Conjuring is like.
Yeah, when you're talking about when the universe as a whole.
Yeah.
Oh, 100%.
They've been sucking the mess out that daggone cow.
But the mainline entries have always been amongst the better of the entire universe's films. And the synopsis on IMDb reads, paranormal investigators Ed and Lorraine Warren take on one last terrifying case involving mysterious entities they must confront.
Yeah.
There's no trailer or anything like that for this, but we did get like a couple like set photos. Obviously, they've been very active on Instagram, showing set photos and things like that. But Last Rites just sounds dope as a title. I'm sure the marketing for this one will be very big, especially even on, because they did put out like a promotional image talking about it coming out September 5th. And one of the taglines at the top says, the final chapter from the case files of Ed and Lorraine Warren. So I think this movie would do really well just on the main fact that this is the final one with Ed and Lorraine Warren. And I'm hoping that it just like it kills at the box office. Hopefully it's a really good film. Now, we do got to talk about like who's working on it because, you know, for some people, they ain't going to be happy about it. But it is being directed by Michael Chavez, and that might be a disappointment to some people.
A disappointment to me.
Yeah, I know. Because, of course, he worked on...
the 2 worst films in the entire franchise.
Yeah, he worked on... of course, The
Curse of La Llorona.
Yeah, he worked on The Curse of La Llorona. And he did the Devil Made Me Do It film. And of course, most recent, he did The Nun 2.
Which I don't like.
I know you don't like it. I actually like it.
I don't like any of his films in the franchise.
Now, I feel like The Curse of La Llorona is definitely the worst one.
It is.
Well, you said the 2 worst. You said the franchise? You talking about the universe or the franchise?
The universe.
No.
Yes.
Which two worst you talking about?
The ones you just... The Devil Made Me Do It is not that good.
We're talking about 2 worst in the franchise?
Yes. Which is the worst to you?
Like, you're talking about the Conjuring universe as a whole, right?
Yes, correct.
The Nun 1?
He did The Nun 1?
No, I'm talking about the film. You said the 2 worst films in the franchise.
He worked on the 2. Oh, you don't like The Nun 1?
Nun 1 is terrible. That's like...
I don't think it was
awful.
Okay.
What? you think The Nun 1 is better than The Nun 2?
Definitely.
You trip.
No. That genuinely scared me. I like that, especially that scene with the lady in the black thing. That shit scared me. And the body inside of the freezing thing. Oh, that junk scared me too.
All right. Yeah. I'm shocked.
The Nun 2, I was not scared, and it was not even an engaging story. And old girl, what's her name? The black girl. She was like an accessory in the entire movie.
Oh, Storm.
Yeah,
Storm?
That movie was not good. Nun 1, yes, is better than Nun 2.
Wow. Okay, so you really do think that he worked on the... What about Annabelle Comes Home? That was awful.
Which one was that one?
That was with the Warren's daughter, and she had the babysitter, and all the babysitter friend unleashed the stuff from the room.
Oh yeah, that was bad.
Yeah, come on.
I don't care. I don't like Michael J. Fox as a director.
I'm trying to cut this dude some slack, y'all. But she didn't give me no room at all. But either ways, that's what I said. Like for you and other people, him coming back to do the last one might be disappointment. Obviously, we would have loved for James Wan to come back and do the final outing. Man. That would have been like
that
ultimate.
Been magical. I guess he ain't doing shit no more.
I think I did see an IG post when I was like doing research on this film that James Wan did visit the set or something like that. He had a picture of like their
I need for him to be
their
like,
chairs or whatever.
Let me take over here.
But so a little disappointed there with the work on there, and I feel like the writers are on this are the same ones that do like the other films.
Mm-hmm.
So we got Ian Goldberg, of course, he worked on The Nun too, but also wrote The Autopsy of Jane Doe, which is a good one. Yeah, people do like that film. And other writers include David Leslie Johnson McGoldrick and Richard Nang. I feel like they also worked on other stuff too. Orphan.
He wrote for Orphan.
The first Aquaman, I know people like that one too. And then going to Richard Nang. Richard has worked on also The Nun 2 and Autopsy of Jane Doe. Looks like a writing pair with what's the first? Ian Goldberg. Mm-hmm. But yeah, so hey, look, fingers crossed this will be a good one. At least be better than Devil Made Me Do It.
Well, fingers crossed. Especially
with it being the last outing got to go hard.
It does.
And hopefully it's like super terrifying as the last entry as well. Yeah. Like I wanted to scare the hell out of us. But either way, it's the final one. So we're going to be checking it out. We're going to be here to see it, y'all, on September 5th. The Conjuring Last Rites. Excited for that. Now, remaining in September, on September 19th, we got this film called Him. Now, this film was originally titled Goat, but they changed the name to Him. This is a Monkey Paw Productions film coming from...
Justin Tipping?
Yeah, Justin Tipping is directing this one. Mm-hmm. Now, let me read y'all the premise of this. Actually, let me bring up a different link because I feel like I went to the actual Monkey Paw production website and I feel like they had like a little bit of a better description for this film that just makes it sound like super dope. It says Him centers on a promising young football player played by Tariq Withers, who we just mentioned was also in I Know What You Did Last Summer, who was invited to train at the isolated compound of a dynasty team's aging quarterback. The legendary quarterback, played by Marlon Wayans, takes his protege on a blood-chilling journey into the inner sanctum of fame, power, and pursuit of excellence at any cost. That just sounds so dope.
Yeah.
It sounds so dope.
I'm excited for this one.
Yeah. Now, did you want to talk about what's special about this one for the writers as well? Because it's written by Zach Ackers and Skip Bronke.
Good. I'm with you, baby.
I'm trying to give you room, baby.
I'm just here.
All right. Well, what's special about this one, y'all? Because, of course, again, directed by Justin Tipping. I wasn't super familiar with.
I don't think we were with any of the things he's done.
Yeah. He's worked on Kicks, TV series called 20s. TV series called Black Monday, directed a short called 90. Not familiar with any of it. But first of all, the premise sounds super dope.
It does.
But the premise comes from this writing duo, Zach Ackers and Skip Bronke. And it was actually, let me bring it up here. It won, let me see what year it was.
2022.
Yep. So in 2022, it made the Blacklist Best Unproduced Screenplays list. That's super dope.
It is.
And then looks like Monkey Paw picked it up and now producing the film. Mm-hmm. That's super fire, y'all. And because I don't think they have any other major writing credits.
No,
I don't believe
this was their first one.
So that alone just makes it super exciting. Again, another like inspiring story where it's like, people could really make it out here. If you got creative and interesting concepts, original ideas, you can make it. And I feel like that's just an inspiring story right there. But we're excited for this one, especially with Tariq Withers playing that lead alongside
Marlon Wayans. I think that's a really good team up. I've seen Tariq in other horror films. I think he is a really good like obviously he's not on the level of like a Marlon Wayans, but I think he will pair well with someone like Marlon Wayans. So I think that's a really good casting choice for the two of them. And then also like this weird compound type of like synopsis. Is like, ooh, like, well, what is the cost?
What's going on?
You know,
what
like, what are they doing? So I'm super intrigued by that. So yeah, I'm excited to see how that all plays out.
Oh yeah. Now, what was also interesting too on the title sheet for the blacklist for the script, it mentions describing it as an anti-sports horror movie. That's super interesting and dope.
Very interesting.
So I don't know. I think all in all, this sounds super dope. Of course, coming from Monkey Paw Productions, I think that I feel like they bring a certain pedigree, right? In terms of uniqueness and creativity.
Yeah.
And I know that they wouldn't just pick anything unless it kind of fit in line with the unique things they try to do. So this is just one we super hyped for y'all. And again, that's coming out also on September 19th. Can't wait to see that one while we wait for Jordan Peele's next film, which at this point,
I just hope I'm still here when it does.
Yeah, and I was like it keeps getting pushed back all the time.
I was so disappointed because it was pushed back to 2026, and
yeah,
I'm
I think
just like, oh, really?
Yeah, because I would have made the list, but no, you got pushed back, yo. But moving on to our next film that we're hyped for. This is we're jumping to October now. No exact pinpoint date, but this is a film that's going to be released on Shudder. So this is a digital release here on Shudder, streaming platform, and it's Hell House LLC Lineage, y'all, coming in October. Now this is coming from the same team, so all the people that did the first films, Stephen Cognetti.
Mm-hmm.
Both writer and director returning for this. What's super dope about this is going to explore. It's sort of like an origin story. So I think it's going back to the fair and like what happened around that time frame. If you've seen the Carmichael Manor film, you know there's some sort of backstory that happened at the fair with the clowns and stuff like that. So with this film, I believe it offers some insight into what exactly happened. Now, you want to talk a little bit about the franchise and the last film. I know you were really big, as well as I, on the Carmichael Manor.
Oh yeah, well, Hell House LLC is a franchise. It is one of my favorite found footage franchises. I can go back to the first movie and still be like, oh, like that was creepy. It does a very good job at creating fear through found footage, because I feel like recently it's been kind of hard to like capture that essence. Mm-hmm. But yes, we did watch the Carmichael Manor one. Isn't it Carmichael Manor?
Yeah, Carmichael Manor.
For some reason, that was
the last one.
I said it wrong. But yeah, I did like that one a lot as well. And I liked the idea of how it closed out to give us that hint of, okay, now we're going to show you how we got here, what was the deal made or whatever that caused all of this to happen. So yeah, I'm very ecstatic about that. And then, when we were at Midsummer Scream, right, and the director was on the panel for the producers and How to Make a Horror Movie panel that we went to, and he talked about this franchise, right, and like this is probably going to be the last film that we get from this. So I'm excited about that too, like to see how they provide some closure on the story and the franchise as a whole. Yeah,
I think it's going to be super dope. He did mention too that, of course, we're going to get some of those like, origin backstory stuff, but there will also be new character storylines as well. So maybe we'll get some new creepy stuff out of that. Now, in that there's an article over on Bloody Disgusting where, they were talking with Steven. And in that, he also mentioned like, if he made another Hell House film, like making it more regular filmmaking style, more narrative and not like found footage. I don't know if that was spoken about Lineage, but with this potentially being the last one, I actually kind of wonder if there will be some mix of regular narrative filmmaking style footage mixed with found footage.
I hope he doesn't do that.
I think it might have just been a comment. Obviously, he said it was like, all about budget.
I know he wants to venture, or even he says venture away from found footage, but I would not do that with this franchise.
Because it's historically been, all of it has been found footage. Yeah. But he did mention, it's all about budget and things like that. But I don't know. I'm curious to see, because I maybe he wonders like, okay, what would this type of film look like with a more standard filmmaking style? I mean, maybe it could be really good, but with, like you said, with the history of the franchise being found footage, it might take away from how it feels.
I won't spend too much time on this topic because we still have more films to go through. But I will say, like, I feel like if you took away the found footage aspect from these particular stories, I think the impact would be lost in them. I think the found footage angle works very well in this case. And even if he had made this movie and it wasn't found footage when he first made it, I don't think it would have become the cult classic that it has become.
Yeah.
So yeah, I personally would be against that totally.
Yeah, no, I agree with 100%. But we will see y'all come October of 2025. At the time of this recording, there hasn't been an official date for that yet, but it is coming. That's Hell House LLC Lineage. Excited for that. Now, staying in October, on October 17th, we're getting another film from Scott Derrickson. 2 films in 2025. And I actually think I think he has something else too, but I can't remember. But we got The Black Phone 2, y'all. Of course, we really liked The Black Phone 1 and what he did with that film. Ethan Hawke playing the grabber was just super creepy, man. I just love Ethan Hawke in general.
Yeah.
But excited to see Scott Derrickson along with he's writing the script again with C. Robert Cargill, who's worked, of course, with him on a lot of his other projects. But super excited for this one. Now, of course, the thing is, right, if you've seen the first film, of course, we won't really go into spoilers, but if you've seen it, you might be wondering, like,
where is this going to go?
Well, what's the Black Phone? How is Black Phone 2 going to work? So when I was like researching about this, I came across an article. Of course, the plot details have not been revealed for this film yet, but apparently, Scott Derrickson gave some hints in a chat with comicbook.com at some point, and he said, and I quote, Joe Hill pitched me a wonderful idea for a sequel to Black Phone that if this movie does well, I'm going to do it. He's got a great idea, and I really liked it. And I'm trying to see if he said anything else beyond that. He said, and this is back in 2022. Scott Derrickson also said, Joe's very protective and personal about his material, but he came to me with an idea, and I was like, that's how you do a sequel to Black Phone. That's terrific. So whatever they got, it's a very, I guess, like genius idea to how you would do a sequel to a movie that has a conclusion in this manner. Mm-hmm. What could it be?
I don't know. But he says a sequel, so I'm assuming it's not a prequel. Right. Or if he said it was a prequel, maybe that would give too much away.
Maybe. But you're right. They use the word specifically sequel.
Because ultimately, obviously, you will automatically assume that that's what they would do in this particular case, since the grabber dies. If you haven't seen the movie by now, sorry.
Dang, there it is. Spoiler alert.
Unless he's not.
No.
But he had to be. No. Yeah, he's gone. So I don't know. Like, is there a network of grabbers? I mean,
or is it going to do some weird thing with like ghosts or something?
Oh, I don't know.
Where the grabber is grabbing, like, oh shoot! I just realized it just hit me. What if you fast forward in some time, right?
Oh,
and like someone moves into that house, and he's grabbing as a ghost.
That's dumb.
Or haunting or something like that.
He's not going to be
that's stupid.
No. Okay. It's not stupid, but I don't want to call your idea stupid. But I just don't think that's what they're doing.
Okay.
I would not want to see that. The grabber as a ghost.
Well, yeah. I mean, like, you know what I'm saying?
No.
Well, I mean, like, how
you just want to see Ethan Hawke come back.
Oh, I do.
And so you're trying to come up with any kind of idea that would allow that to happen.
Hey, look, all I'm going to say is on the IMDb for Black Phone 2, it does say stars Ethan Hawke as the grabber.
Well, I don't know what to tell you, you know.
But who knows? But it's still got
it's still got the same people back.
Yeah, it's still got the same people in there. Mason Thames as Finney, Jeremy Davies.
Or maybe Finney is seeing the grabber as a ghost or something, since he could see the other kids as ghosts. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. All I say is I got trust in them to do something dope.
Well, if those kids are coming back, then it can't be a prequel then, right?
Yeah, you're right. It's got to be a sequel. It's got to be a legitimate sequel.
I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know what it could look like. Hey, look, y'all let us know in the comments. How do you think a sequel to the Black Phone could look? How could a Black Phone 2 look? What route could they go? Especially if they're bringing everybody back.
Yeah.
and the grabber is actually gone, what are they doing?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Now, this would be very angering.
Okay.
But what if how it ended is not actually how it ended?
Oh, like
it was he thought he got out, but he didn't actually get out.
Oh, that would be crazy. That would be wild. Like well, yeah, you're right. Because I think that would piss people off.
Yeah, it would be angry.
People would get pissed with that. So yeah, okay.
We're gonna stop guessing.
we won't even guess that one then. Okay. Well, let's go ahead with that. And again, that's coming out October 17th, y'all. The Black Phone 2 to theaters. Excited for that one from Scott Derrickson and I always forget his name. C. Robert Cargill.
Yes.
Scott Derrickson, man, one of my favorite horror directors for real. Now, this is our last film. So we've gone through 14 films.
Yeah.
We basically crossed the whole year, and we're landing in November with the final film, and it's November 7th for this theatrically released film, and it's Predator Badlands. So we get another Predator film, y'all. Now
we're supposed to get another Predator film from the director of Infested, which is a movie I really liked, but I couldn't find any details on that one. So there would have been 16 films on his list because I would have put that one on here too.
Yeah. So let's talk about Predator Badlands real quick, because was that the secret project that they were talking about?
Yeah,
that was the secret Predator film. Okay, so let's talk about Predator Badlands, y'all. So this is being directed by Dan Trachtenberg, the same person that did Prey,
which was a good ass movie.
Yeah, Prey was so dope.
So good.
If you haven't seen Prey, y'all, check that film out. It's a really good film.
It's really good.
And Dan also did before that, Cloverfield Lane, 10 Cloverfield Lane, another dope film. He directed one episode of The Boys. Like, Dan's done some dope stuff. But so I'm really excited for Predator Badlands. But what makes this even more interesting? Well, before I say that, let me look at the writers in this project. We got Patrick Eisen, Jim Thomas, and John Thomas. Let's see. It looks like the same people returning from Prey to help write this. So that's good. I guess they saw the formula and was like, we were just bringing everybody back to do theatrically released Predator film. Now, what's interesting about this Predator film, though, y'all, is that the Predator is going to be the protagonist in this film. So the protagonist that we root for in this film. So,
well, we rooted for the Predator in Alien versus Predator.
We did. Yeah.
So it's been done before.
Yeah, definitely. It's been done, but they almost make it seem like he's the main character.
Yeah.
Because even in AVP, it's not like that Predator was the main character.
That's true. Yes.
He kind of became one because everybody else was dead. You know what I'm saying? But in this one, actually seems like the Predator is going to be like the main character. So, so Dan actually spoke with Empire and did like kind of like a first look for Predator Badlands. Unfortunately, that interview didn't really give us any real images. It's just an image of him on set, but they didn't give us no look at Predators or nothing like that. Kind of disappointing.
They're not gonna give you that.
Yeah, they're gonna say that. They're gonna say that shit for the trailer.
Yeah.
But in this interview with Empire, Dan mentions the creature's front and center and leading the charge, and he says he's still a badass, but there's something that's there that touches you emotionally too. Creating a character you connect with, but it's also super intimidating. Let me restart that. Creating a character you connect with, but are also super intimidated by, has been challenging but exciting.
There you go.
Because my brain was trying to like correct how it was written. Because I was like, wait, it's not making sense as I'm saying it. We have to finish the whole sentence, dude. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, that just sounds super dope. And he talked about wanting to, push the franchise's boundaries with this, allowing fans the opportunity to root for the Predator this time around.
Yeah.
Which is, all in all, that's just dope.
Yeah, it sounds really cool.
Like spending all that time with the Predator and having him be like the dude, you'd be like, Predator. We want him to kick ass in the movies anyway, but now we can do it and be like, okay, now I want you to win. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Just like an AVP, like you said.
Well, hot take for you guys. I personally prefer Predator over Alien. So I was obviously already on board for this movie because I prefer the Predator. I don't know why. I'm trying to think. What was it? Maybe it was Alien versus Predator kind of kicked off my I really like this type of character.
Well, are you saying that you like the character more or you like the movies more?
The character.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
The movies haven't been that great till Prey. I thought Prey was good. Well, the one that has what's the name in it is pretty good.
Well, I mean, it's not that many Predator films. This is Predator 1, 2, the 2 with, AVPs. You see my Predator 2. It's Danny Glover.
Danny Glover
one.
Yeah, Predator 2.
Well, you don't like Predator 1? You probably haven't seen it in a while.
Maybe so that's what it is.
Yeah, you would like
But I
it.
have recently watched some of them. Didn't we watch some of them before we watched?
We were watching all the alien related ones. So we did watch the 2 AVP movies because it's got Predator in it. But we were really watching it because it was part of the Alien franchise. If you count the AVP movies.
Well, I like the character. We should put up that picture you took at Midsummer Scream with the Predator. It was cool.
Oh, yeah. There was a dude at Midsummer Scream dressed as the Predator, man. His costume was crazy fire.
I just think they look really cool.
The Predators do look really cool.
I like how they fight and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I just really like the character.
See, I agree with you. I think I like the Predator character more than Alien just because the Predators have personality.
Maybe that's what
Alien is the Xenomorph is just there to fuck shit up.
Just like
there's no real like more animalistic, right? But the Predator is like
a person.
Not saying that Xenomorph ain't like intelligent, right. But you're right. The Predator's more humanoid in the sense of
that's
like
what it is.
They're like they got like a certain swag and personality to them.
They do have a swag.
Yeah, they do. They badass.
They
man.
do have
they
a
do
swag.
got a swag to them.
Yeah.
So no, I get that. I actually agree with the character wise, but obviously Aliens got more films in the franchise. So I think naturally the films are just better. But Predator 1 is always going to be a super fire movie.
Well, I'm excited to see what Dan does with this film.
Especially after Prey.
Especially after Prey. Because that really was a really good movie.
It was really good. It was surprising how good it was. And what I really love, though, is they're putting this one in theaters.
Yes.
So I feel like they saw that it was a mistake not to put Prey in theaters.
Mm-hmm.
But actually, maybe it wasn't because then I got people hyped again.
What
like, oh, this is good. Like, so now that when this comes out, people are like, oh,
they're gonna go see it.
Like, we back on board with Predator. Like, I'm gonna go watch that one.
Yeah. Well, it looks like the only person they have on, that they've said is in the film is Elle Fanning.
Yeah, I think that's the only person that's actually been announced officially that's in the cast.
Well, that's cool.
But yeah, I mean, this is super exciting. That's why it's on our list because Prey was so good.
Yeah.
We're excited to get more Predator films and then have
more
Predator be the main dude and you can root for this dude to win. Yeah. Like it's gonna be a lot of fun. But the key here is to still keep him like he said, still intimidating. Like dang, it's still scary. You know what I'm saying? So like other than that, the plot is on the wrap. So I'm curious to see what this film will be about.
The story.
Right, exactly. Actually, one note I did want to read here is it says Empire also notes in the sneak preview piece, which additionally includes a behind the scenes shot that I mentioned, that the film takes place entirely on an alien planet.
Oh.
Yep.
Well, then that changes things.
So, which I think is how he becomes the protagonist.
He's the protagonist, yeah.
Because we have no attachment to whatever this alien planet is going to be.
Yeah.
Whatever these type of aliens or whatever is going to be.
That's going to be dope.
Yeah.
Ooh, that means there'll be really cool set pieces.
It should be.
And all that kind of stuff. Yeah, I'm excited for that.
It should be super dope. But y'all, again, that's coming to theaters on November 7th. Predator Badlands. We're super hyped for that.
Yeah.
But y'all, hey, look, that's it.
15.
You hung out with us for this whole discussion, this whole conversation. That was 15 films, our top most anticipated 15 films for 2025. Of course, there's so many other horror films coming out in 2025. Obviously, this would have went on forever. We had like a top 30 list or something like that. But we really could have made one. That's how many horror films are coming.
There's a lot coming out.
But these ones we think are going to be the ones to be most excited about.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll do one thing I would like to do, and I was wondering if we'd be able to do it this year is you mentioned it, like revisiting like our most anticipated. I think that'd be fun to try to do with this list too, to see like if we were hyped for it, if it turned out good, you know what I'm saying? Like,
I think we should do that.
Yeah, that'd be really dope. Let us know down in the comments, y'all, if you want us to do that for 2024.
Yeah,
because we did do a most anticipated 2024.
We did. We should do that.
Yeah.
Or let us know if you'd be interested.
Yeah. Let us know if you'd be interested. But y'all let us know what you think about our list of, these 15 horror films for 2025. Let us know what your list is for the ones you're most excited about for 2025. Obviously, there's a ton of them.
There's a lot.
Yeah, we'd love to discuss that in the comments with y'all. Whether you're on YouTube, on Spotify, Podcast, Apple, put that in the comments, y'all. We'd love to have a conversation to see what else you're excited about, because we know there's a ton of stuff out there. We'd love to talk about them. But that'll do it for this discussion, y'all. Thank you so much for joining us, man. It's been a great time with you, baby, to talk about these films.
Good time with you, babe.
As always. And thank you, y'all, for your support. Shout out to our Patreon members. Shout out to our YouTube members. Thank y'all for your support on that level. And if you're interested in that, y'all, check out our Patreon and YouTube membership. We usually post our full reactions there. In 2025, we're going hard with our membership content.
Yes.
We plan to do potentially vlogs, and of course, we already do it now, but we will continue to do it where you're able to vote on what we react to. Of course, we do movie reactions, so you'll be able to poll and contribute to what we actually react to. It's a great way to do it. We recently did Blink Twice, and that was a Patreon pick. So it's a great way to support us while also being able to contribute to the content as well, y'all. But make sure you hit that subscribe button. We still got to do our top 10 horror movies of 2024. We still haven't seen Nosferatu yet. That's what we're really waiting on.
That.
That's what we're really waiting on.
I feel like there's no need for us to wait. We're just gonna put it at the top. It's number one.
We hope it's gonna be number one, not number 2 or something like that, or number 3. But
I think it's gonna be number 1.
Based off of all the feedback on that, I feel like it's gonna be up there, y'all.
Okay, I'm just want to say, I'm going into this movie with very high expectations, and I really don't want to be let down.
Right,
and I can't temper them. This was a film that was on our top most anticipated for this year, and so all year from January to now, we've been extremely excited for this movie.
Yeah,
so I can't temper my expectations at this point. So I'm going in with high expectations. So I just hope that it meets them.
We got to. We can't help it. It's Robert Eggers. It's got this dope ass cast. We're hearing that Lily Rose Depp is incredible in the film. Obviously, Bill Skarsgård is Count Orlok. It had the recipe for the ultimate horror movie.
Yeah.
And now we're getting these reviews coming out. People are like, this shit's amazing. So we're super excited for that. So, hey, look, make sure y'all subscribe so you can see our top 10 horror movies of 2024, because, y'all might be shocked by it. Or at least y'all be, interested by it. Maybe there'll be some films that you're like, I didn't give that one a chance, and I'm going to go back and watch it. That's what we've been doing, checking out other people's lists as we near the
If you're new to our channel, also, we do news, and we just recently did a news this past Sunday or Monday, a live. We usually do it on Sunday, but we did it on Monday this past week, and we talked a little bit about the films and how they're stacking up in award season and stuff like that. So if you're interested in that, definitely go check that video out as well. Yeah,
because they've already, just today they put out the short list for stuff. You and I were discussing that kind of, off air here. But maybe we were suggested by one of our community members that we do a live watch party of the Oscars. So if the horror nominations come in, we might have to do that. So let us know down in the comments, y'all, if y'all want to see that as well. Hey, but look, I ain't gonna hold y'all up too much longer. I know we've been hanging out here, but hopefully you've had a good time with us as we talked about these horror films for 2025. Again, drop your thoughts in the comments. We appreciate y'all so much. We will see you in the next one. We out, y'all. Peace.